Ipsis. Thank you so much, Ipsis, for inviting me to be a speaker for IGS. This is Mina. So my name is Noor Emily Abdul Rashid. So I'm from College of Engineering, Electrical. However, right now I am attached to Microwave Research Institute, one of the research institute under Center of Excellence in UiTM. All right. So without further ado, let me just start our presentation. So first thing first, what is research proposal? As you know that in few months, I think for your batch, you will have to submit or to sit for the what we call as defend research proposal, whereby during this time you have to submit a proposal to tell the panel what are you going to do for your master or for your PhD. So basically, what is research proposal? Research proposal is a blueprint of future activities of your project. So you want people to know what are you going to do within this stipulated time. So it is some sort of pro-concept framework for starting the activities. And the deals, you have to deal with the ideas about what research you want to do, what objective or methodology you have set, how much time and resources are required to complete it, how the research findings are to be reported. So in short, basically, you are proposing a work frame for completing the research from the beginning, from day one until you submit your thesis. Okay. So a group proposal should consist of 3 first chapter of your thesis. So I think you already know that chapter 1, basically, you will start with the statement of problem or background information. In that chapter, you also will highlight the research gap from the literature that you have read or from whatever thing that you have finding through your research. And then from there, you will come out or list with all these objectives and also other things. And then in chapter 2 of your thesis, basically you will review all the literature, all the papers, all the journals, books, or any finding that you have. And the third one will be the research methodology. So these are the 3 important chapters of the thesis and should be in your proposal. I can assure you that in the proposal, it is not as detailed as what you are going to write in your thesis, but at least you cover these 3 chapters. Okay. The purpose of the research proposal is to make the reader to understand what are you going to do, the rationale of the project, objective of the project, and at the same time, you have to tell the reader how do you design your research? Or in simple word, this is your research methodology part. How to write a research proposal? Generally, a research proposal should contain all the key elements involved in the research process and include sufficient information for the reader to evaluate the proposed study. So regardless of what research or methodology you choose, our research proposal must address the following question. The first one, what you plan to accomplish. So basically, this is your objective. And then what you want to do it and how are you going to do it. This is, you have to cover it in your research methodology. So I will go into detail all these things. So research proposal layout, basically, you should have the first thing, you should have a title. And then you have to come up with the abstract. Abstract is like a summary to your research proposal. And then you include the introduction, followed by literature review. You should come up with the methodology, expected result, conclusion. Of course, you should have some references. And also you have to schedule what you are going to do throughout your study. Now, let's have a look at one by one. The first one is the title. So the title should be concise and descriptive. What does it mean by concise and descriptive? The title should have a functional relationship, but such title clearly indicate the independent and dependent variable. So it should be informative, but also catchy. And if an effective title not only piques the reader's interest, but also predisposes him or her favorable towards the proposal. So basically, in your title, you should have the problem, how to solve it, and why you want to solve it. So these are the two examples of the research title. The first one, Malay dialect identification of FFFC features using convolution and long short-term memory neural networks. And the second one, flexible EG-FET-based integrated all-solid electrodes, IAC, for electrochemical ion sensor. So when you look at the example, can you identify the problem? You just go through, if you look at this title, can you identify which one is the problem for both titles? Which one do you think is the problem? Anyone? Sorry, I cannot. Okay, MFCC. Okay, so basically, they want, for the title number one, they want to identify. The problem is they cannot identify Malay dialect. So how are you going to do this? Is by the second part, which is by extracting certain features. How to extract these certain features? Is by, this is the method, using convolution and long short-term memory neural network. So for the first title, you have the problem, how to do it, what method to use. Same goes to number two. So basically, they want this title number two, they want to design IASE, and then for what? For sensor, electrochemical ion sensor. So in your whatever area that you are going to do, or research that you're going to focus to, you have to make sure that in your title you should have the problem, what are you going to do, and what method are you going to use. All right, now let's move to the next one, abstract. So normally, if you look at any journals or any conference paper, so in order for you to understand or what is the paper is all about, you might want to read the summary, because in the summary it should have some information inside. So summary or abstracts only is a short description, which is around 300 words. So the abstract should include research question, or the first one should generally describe what is the problem, and then it should include research question, the rationale of the study, the hypothesis and methods, and also what is the findings. That is the abstract for thesis and also your proposal. So if your proposal, you are going, what are the problems that you're going to do? What are the aims of your research paper? What kind of methods are you going to use? And what are the expecting results? Because you don't have any finding yet. But if, let's say, in the thesis, you have to put the findings and also the future works. Same goes to when you write a paper or a journal. Okay? But for thesis, the abstract might, you have to extend more abstract from your proposal, because normally abstract for thesis is like 1 page long, whereas abstract for papers, journals, and your proposal is like half page long. Okay, now we move to introduction. So introduction basically provide the necessary background or context for your research problem. This is how to frame the research problem is perhaps the biggest problem in your proposal writing, because you need to really highlight. Sometimes the student think that they already highlight the problem, but it's actually the general problem. You have to focus on a certain things that you want to solve. Okay. Try to place your research question in the context of either the current hot area or an older area that remains viable, or you can provide a brief but appropriate historical backdrop. Provide the contemporary context in which your proposed research question occupies the central stage. Identify key players and refer to the most relevant and representative publication. Try to paint your research question in broad brushes and at the same time bring it out significance. So basically, in the background study, you will generally start your writing with general statement, and then you will zoom in or focus or narrow your topic into what you are going to solve. So, and then you will have one subsection which is highlight the research problem. Okay. The introduction generally covers the following elements. State the research problem, which is often referred to as the purpose of the study. And then you have to provide the context and set the stage for your research question in such a way as to show its necessary importance. You have to present your proposed study, clearly indicate why is it worth doing, and briefly describe the major issues and sub-problem to address by your research. This is what I said. So you have to first describe the major issues and then the sub-problem. The sub-problem will lead to your objective. Okay, we will look at it later on. And then the introduction also should identify the key independent and dependent variable of your experiment, state your hypothesis or theory, and then set the delimitation or boundaries of your proposed research in order to provide a clear focus. Provide definition of key concept. This is optional. Okay, so in your introduction, you should have all these elements. If you look at it carefully, so first introduction of the chapter. So basically, this is briefly you said that in this chapter 1, you will have this point, this point, this point. Okay, and then you will go into the first subsection, which is background of the current research. And then here you will highlight the problem of the current research. If let's say, like I said, how to find this problem is by reading, okay? And then you come up with the hypothesis. So if let's say this is the problem, what are the things that you want to solve and how are you going to do it? And then you have to come up with the research question. From the research question, you will list all the research objective. And at the same time, you have to highlight why are you going to do what are you going to do with this area? What are the significance of this study? So how are you going to contribute it in future? And then you have to come out the scope of study, because sometimes the area that you are going to focus is very broad. You have too many parameters. Sometimes you have limitation in terms of your, for example, equipments, or you have limitation in terms of to access the data. So you have to highlight your scope and limitation of your work. And then, of course, sometimes you need to define a certain terms, and please make sure that you have like like 3 or 4 sentences to conclude of your chapter. Okay, now, I think you have gone through this research question. So basically, why do you need research question? Because research question will relate it to your problem statement, and then it will somehow narrowing the topics that you have. and then it will connect to the objective. Because you need to know, when you read something, when you come up with the problem, of course, you are trying to question something about it. So for example, if let's say you want to solve something related to the Malay dialect just now. So of course, the first thing that you want, the question in your mind is that, so what are the distinct features that this dialect have? What are difference between dialect 1 and dialect 2? So how am I going to distinguish between this dialect? See, you come up with a question. Okay, now, what are the method? The second question might be, what are the best method to use in order to differentiate this dialect? And probably the next question might be, how am I going to make sure that the methodology that I use is correct? You see? So when you have all these questions, you will somehow link it to the objectives. For example, just now for the question number 3, you want to know whether the method that you use is correct or not. So the objective should be how to validate the methodology that you use. Can you see it? So research question can somehow connect it to the objective. Okay, so how to come up with the research objective? Definitely research objective, we refer it to the SMART attributes, which is specific. Your research objective should be specific. S is specific, M is measurable, A should be achievable, R realistic, and T time frame. Why is it specific? Because you want it to make sure that you can achieve it. You need to know that, okay, like I said just now, maybe you have some limitation. So you have a scope of work. So you have to be specific that you are going to focus only on these things rather than other things, or else your research would be very broad. And then your objective should be measurable. Why measurable? Because can you say that you want to define something? When you want to define something, it's very, it's not measurable. Definition can be very subjective to everyone. But if let's say you, for example, to measure. So to measure, you know that there are ways for you to measure certain things, or measuring by doing experiment or by calculating something, okay? And it must be achievable. When you talk about achievable, definitely achievable means that you can fulfill the objective that you list. And also it must be realistic. Some people, they are aiming something which is not realistic, which probably can, some people, they want to aim for solving the world problem, which is we cannot do that. Okay, so we might be able to solve only 1/4 of the problem, but not the whole problem in that short time frame. And of course, time frame is very important because you have only, for master, you have only 2 years. And for PhD, you have 3 years. Trust me, you want to finish it as soon as possible. So you have to really plan your research. And your objective should be within this SMART attribute because you want to finish everything in a short time. Okay. Framing research objective, the objective should be stated using action verbs. Definitely, because it should be measurable. So there are certain action verbs that can be used. For example, to investigate, to explore, to ascertain, to compare, to determine. This depends on what is your research, what is your problem statement, and also your research question. So basically, when you have 3 sub-research problems, you will have 3 different questions and you will have 3 different objectives. Okay. Now, this is the example of research objective. I give you 5 minutes to read the problem statement and to read the objective. And from here, I would like to know what is your opinion about the objective. Can you do that? 5 minutes. Okay, can anyone share your opinion regarding the objective?
Hello, doctor.
Yes.
This is what I managed to identify, right? From the primary objective, right, is stated specifically to design and implement the CNN and LSTM network for Malay language dialect classification, right? So
Okay.
actually, when our main goal is we try to stick it as what we call to make it as generally as for possible lah, before we can niche it down to what's method to. So I think to CNN and LSTM too, it doesn't need to be mentioned. This is my own opinion. If correct me if I'm wrong. And then the for every set of objectives specific, the goals to achieve the primary objective, uh, it is too specific, it is too niche down. But usually at the objective level, we try to broaden it up before we to jump into that apa kata, what you call it, into specific. I think that's my opinion. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Anyone else to give their opinion? Anyone else? So what your friend said that the objective is to detail and focus, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how about other people? I mean, do you think that it's measurable? Do you think that this student able to complete everything within the stipulated time? Does it follow the SMART attributes? Anyone? Do you think that the objective number one to perform is the right verbs? Is it measurable?
Uh, okay, doctor.
Yes.
It's me, Saleh. Basically, CNN and LSTM is what? Is it a some kind of measurement or tools to measure, or is it like software or what?
It's one of the artificial intelligence methods.
Okay, so I think like my opinion is that maybe on use only one software is enough. Why we need to do both CNN and LSTM? Okay, that is my first comment. And then to perform, actually, well, it's a different maybe school of thought or what not. But to perform, I think it's quite vague.
You mean that it's not, it can't be measured?
In terms of wording lah, basically.
Okay.
I think that's all.
All right. Any other opinion?
Hello.
Yes.
So, I think the proposed statement is quite incomplete because it does not mention anything about MFS, MFCC, CNN, or LSTM. So that's my opinion.
Okay. All right.
Mm. Other than that, tak tahu. So,
Objective, do you think the objective is okay or need to be improved?
I think the objective is okay good.
Okay, one last opinion. Anyone?
Doctor,
Yes.
I think
that is to perform is not very detailed. It should be something like how to perform the feature extraction. Should be more detailed in my opinion.
All right. Okay. Tadi dia ada lady yang nak share her opinion.
I'm associating objective. I think the first two word to perform to clarify is not suitable to use in this word is not suitable. It needs to use another word.
All right. Thank you for your opinions. Okay. Let me just answer a few things. Of course, the problem statement is not complete because there should be the background study above it. So if let's say you read from the beginning until the end, you might think that the problem statement is correct because it focuses on certain things only rather than a broad area or a broad description. As for the objective, yes, for objective number one, to perform. To perform is not measurable. It should be, instead of to perform feature extraction using MFCC on Malaysian dialect, the student should just directly put to extract features, because extract is measurable. You can, extract certain things, certain information from, let's say, a signal. So instead of to perform, it should be to extract features directly. Okay. The CNN LSTM is a method. One of you just now said that it's to focus. It is good to be focused because you already know and you can save more time by focusing on something. And then the third time, for the other comment from your friends, whereby why you need to use two types of paradigm or technique to do the classification, which is CNN and LSTM. This is depends, because now CNN, LSTM neural networks, you don't have to basically write the algorithm from the beginning. There are certain software that already have built in CNN and LSTM techniques. So if, let's say, you just apply and plug in, so you need, normally certain panel might ask you to do some comparison in order for you to in order to make sure that you have contribution in your research. So by having by doing the comparative study between CNN and LSTM, so meaning that the student will know that which one of the method is faster and more effective. All right. So
Doctor, sorry
yes.
to intervene, but to compare the performance of CNN and LSTM, this is two measuring tool, right? Based on the recent developed AI measuring tool that I read, this is some info that I would like to share out. Most of the scholars agree to upon applying a hybrid model, because as tools getting more complex and complex here, so did the data. The evolvement from traditional tool that we use, and then until now, the advent of technology, most scholars agree upon to apply a hybrid lah. So I think that's my 2 cents. Sorry.
Yeah, that is correct. This student is already graduated. So this is like 5 to 6 years ago punya proposal. So during that time, CNN and LSTM is a new thing. So what he did is just to compare which one is better. But yeah, I do agree with you that now the technology evolved. So instead of you just using the CNN, the normal CNN and LSTM, you can do the hybrid one, or you can develop your own or make some improvement or advancement on the CNN or LSTM. So yeah, for now, if let's say you do the hybrid or advancement of this two technique, then you can claim it as a novelty. But when you use the basic algorithm, which is CNN and or just LSTM, so if you just plug in and you just apply whatever that algorithm that have in the software or in the market, then you can just do comparison in order just to see that, okay, for this application, this tool might much better than this one, because different application will adapt efficiently with different tools. So there's nothing wrong because this is a master student proposal, so there's nothing wrong by doing the comparison, meaning that he just highlighted that this technique is much better than this technique for this particular application. But of course, for a certain other application or for certain other students, you might need to develop your own algorithm. So in that case, you don't have to do the comparison, but you only have to do the validation of your algorithm. All right? There's nothing wrong with do comparison or you doing your own algorithm or using the advanced technique. Okay, but however, you have to, regardless, whatever the objective that you have to make sure that, like I said, follow the attributes, smart attributes, and at the same time, you have to convince your panel that why are you using this? Why are you focusing on this objective, or you listing this objective? And will you be able to, like I said, to achieve or to finish everything up within the time frame? All right. Okay. Now, anyway, thank you for the opinion and also your thoughts. Now let's move to the next part, which is, hold on. Okay, this is the scope and limitation. Like I said, the scope and limitation is very important because this will give your panel some ideas. What are you going to focus on, and what, because some panel, they might question you that instead of you focusing on this, for example, these 2-3 parameters, why not you add more, because this is what needs in the, for example, industry or the area application that you involved with. But again, like I said, you cannot do everything in a short period of time, especially those who are doing masters. And those who are under scholarship, you have very restrict time to finish everything. So this is where it is important for you to highlight to your panel that this is limitation that you have, and this is the scope that you have. For example, if you're doing something related to telecommunication engineering, so you have a very broad frequencies. So for example, you are designing some hardware, for example, filters or antennas. So in order for you to design this antenna, you need to focus on certain frequency. Like I said, okay, so an example again is Wi-Fi signal. So you know that Wi-Fi signal, you have 2.4 gig and also 5.2 gigs. So some people, they are going to design a broad frequency antenna, or some people, they're focusing on just one particular frequency. So some panel, they said that, oh, it is good for you to focus on a broad area or broad frequency. So you have to defend in the scope orientation that you say that, okay, you are focusing only for this frequency because of what? That because of what, you need to justify. So the justification is based on probably the limitation in terms of hardware that you're using, material that you're using, or you have to put some boundaries to it. For example, that this is the allowable frequency by a certain authority. So you have to justify it in your proposal. Okay, so scope orientation must be based on the features, the function, deliverables, constraint outputs, and also the boundaries. Okay, now that is all for chapter 1. So now, like I said, we have 2 chapters, right? So chapter 2, which is literature review. I will not go through this literature review, how to write it, or how to how detailed you need to do to write in your literature review. But basically, this chapter should thoroughly discuss the following thing, which is introduction of the chapter, and then a review of literatures relevant to the current research, review of literature relevant to theories, you punya research framework, hypothesis development, and conclusion of the chapter. Like I said, I will not go through this because you already go through the literature module, I think, yesterday or this morning. Okay. In chapter 3, again, this is the research methodology. So how to write this is the research methodology should reflect back your objective. Whatever that you design in your research methodology, you have to make sure that you can achieve your objective study. Okay, so in research methodology, you should have the introduction of the chapter, and then you should have the research design, research methodology itself, research instrument, development process or testing process, and conclusion of the chapter. in research methodology, everything should be detailed. For example, what parameter are you going to use? You have to list down all these parameters. And then if let's say you are using a certain material to, let's say you want to design an antenna. So antenna, to design an antenna, not just design itself. So you have to choose different material. You have to choose parameter. You have to define this parameter frequency. What frequency do you want? What do you want to achieve? What is the gain? What is the aim? So each and every single thing that you write must be in detail. If you are involved with experiment, so the experiment should be detailed. For example, if you want to measure a certain thing, so you have to define, okay, these are the distances that you are going to choose. For example, the distance should be 1 meter with the gap of 5 centimeter each, for example. Okay, so now, let's say you have a solution and you want to measure different solution, or and this solution you should dilute it. So how to dilute it? For example, you put some water, and this water, the dilution to what you have what up until 50%. So you have to define each and every single thing as detailed as possible. Okay, so if let's say you want measurement using a certain devices, so these devices, how the measurement setup should be. If you want to use different sample, what are the samples that you should use? The condition of the sample, for example, the temperature of the sample. So like one of my colleagues, he is doing, he is trying to classify different type of coffee quality. So in order for him to know which coffee quality is the best, so he needs to measure the coffee beans from day 1 until day 14, because they said that after day 14 the coffee bean is not as good as day 1. So this is due to first oxidation, and then because of the temperature, because of the moisture. So he need to measure this coffee bean from day 1 until day 14, for example, with the gap of 2 days. And then he need to measure what are the temperature on these days. He need to make sure that the condition of the room. So if let's say macam because he's in the office normally we don't have aircon at night, so you have different type of different temperature punya setting during that time kan. So he need to measure and really calculate each and every single thing. So everything dia kena put in the methodology tu. So because kita akan, whatever the conclusion that we have from there, so kita akan relate back to the factors and also the condition yang ada during that time. So benda ni, the research methodology ni, you have to consider each and every single thing. So during that DRP, the panel might ask you, why are you using this temperature instead of, for example, kalau you nak boil boil coffee, you tak boil at 100 degree, right? So why are you using yang boiling water? Why not? Some of you are using just kowe punya water. So ada difference kat situ. So even the taste pun will be different. So contohnya bila you nak coffee kan, what are the different, if let's say you just put milk from the fridge rather than you froth the milk. So ada difference pun. Froth pun ada certain temperature that you have to use in order the froth tu memang sedap betul-betul rasa dia. So these are the things that you have to put in research methodology, and you have to justify why are you using that. Why you design benda tu macam tu rather than the other way around. Okay. Some people, they put this what we call a summary of research methodology, whereby it links from the problem statement to the objective, methodology, and outcome. So that sometimes some people, they might have this problem or limitation in terms of writing. So in order to make it clear to the panel or to the reader, they come up with this what we call as summary of research methodology. It's quite good because you can say that, okay, for the problem statement 1, so basically in order for you to solve this 2 problem, so you have to come up with this objective. So this objective basically akan cover 2 problem statement, and you tengok objective number 2, they cover the 3rd problem statement. And how to achieve the objective? So this methodology 1 and 2, so basically they design the methodology 2 only to solve or to achieve the objective 1. And from there, you can see what are the outputs from each stage. Okay, so this is not compulsory for you to put, but it's what we call good to have lah. All right. Okay, of course, you have to put timeline and schedule. This is to convince your panel that you will be able to finish everything up within the time frame. Okay, so if let's say your project is for 2 years, then you have to really convince lah, macam okay, background literature, berapa lama you nak ambil masa to study and explore the features of algorithm. Definitely you have to consider that you have to write the program, you have to understand what are these features, you have to understand the structure of a signal, for example, and how to do testing. So this should be, the timeline or schedule must be realistic. Okay. Of course, for master, try to target to finish everything up by you should target to have a minimum period of time. For example, master 1.5 years and PhD 3 years. Don't be surprised. Some of the students, PhD students, they manage to finish everything up until I think end of 2nd year, they dah finish everything. So by 2.5 years, they dah submit the thesis. Boleh. It's possible. It's doable. Okay. All you need to do is discipline. It is good if let's say you attach to a certain grant, because grant ni, you have a specific schedule, especially grant yang if let's say if you don't achieve this milestone, they won't wire the money to you. So you will have to make sure that you must achieve it because you need that money. Okay, so it's good to have that, but or else you have to be disciplined. You have to make sure that you go and see your supervisors let's say every week. You should consult them kalau boleh, if possible. Macam I do in our team dekat MRI, we have a monthly colloquium. So monthly colloquium meaning that the student, for each this colloquium, they need to present their progress. So basically we will compare progress yang bulan lepas, the following months dengan this month. So normally I will ask them to buat instead of monthly punya schedule, I will ask them to do it weekly punya schedule lah, sebab lagi fokus. But as for the proposal, you should just put it in terms of monthly lah, what to achieve. Okay. And then, of course, sebenarnya in the proposal, you should have an expected result, but it's good to have a preliminary result, because by the time you do your TRP, it should be like you already finished 6 months of your study period, the first 6 months of your study period. So during that time, you should have a preliminary result, unless you are designing from the beginning until the end. Let's say you design the whole system. So when you design the whole system, some of you might have to design the hardware. So hardware it might take some time for you to get the components and everything, but at least you have designed, you have done some simulation work lah. So it's good to have a preliminary result to show that you have come up with something. You already have something within these few months. Dia akan kasih some confidence to your panel that you can finish everything within the time frame. Okay, in the expected result and preliminary result, the section should give you a good indication of what you expect to get out of the research. It should join the data analysis and possible outcome to the theory and question that you have raised. It will be good place to summarize the significance of work, and it will be good if you can provide some preliminary result to show your progress. I would be happy if the student show me some preliminary results, because I know that they have done something. At least they have achieved objective 1. Sebab for master student 6 months tu memang lama, and kalau for PhD student, I think you will be sitting or presenting your DRP within almost like 8 to 9 months. The 8 months, if I'm not mistaken. So you should have done something lah. And some people, they already have 1 publication during that time. So for those yang expect to like upgrade from master to PhD, so you have to make sure that your result for your DRP will be result 1 and 2, and you can submit for upgrading to PhD within 1 year. Okay. At the end of the proposal, you should have a conclusion. So conclusion, basically you restate your research topic back. Your first step when writing conclusion should be restate your research topic lah. And then you restate the proposal, summarize the main point of your research, connect the significance or result of the main points, and you have to conclude your thoughts. Of course, you can list down all the references. Definitely references should focus the first few, the most relevant in the 5 years, and the most recent references, preferable those of international research journal. So make sure that within the list to at least 20% to must be from journals. Avoid grey literature, textbook, or online or web references. Some rules when citing references in the proposal, you have to refer to the format. Format ni refer to your faculties, because different faculty will have different format. Normally because I'm from electrical engineering, so we are referring to the IEEE format. But for other faculty, I'm not so sure. You have to ask your graduate office. Okay. So what are the tips and tricks? Definitely you have to take notes, you have to read. You have to talk to your supervisors, experts and fellows. For the first few months tu, kalau boleh, you go and see your supervisor like what? Twice a week. You need to get that momentum. So during that time, basically you still have no idea what you're going to do, what you're going to focus on, whether what you have read to, is it correct, your understanding is correct or not. So you have to go and see your supervisors, discuss with them. If let's say you have some confusion, this is the right time for you to discuss. And then you have to write topics and topic. Get confused, get afraid. Why I'm saying that you have to get confused and get afraid? Because if you are really comfortable with what you are involving with, this is when you start to detach with your supervisor, because you think that you already know it. Like I said, you have to talk to your supervisor and experts. Okay, and then you generate a number of research questions, systematize research question, cut down this in line with your current thinking. There's some tools that you can use. Phrase bank. During my time, we are using the phrase bank a lot, because we tend to repeat the style of writing. So Bank Manchester is very helpful to us. But nowadays you have all the AI tools. You can use Perplexity, you can use ChatGPT, you can use, what else do we have? Gemini. So you have all these tools. But please remember, whenever you use this tool, you have to really know how to ask the AI what to write. You have to make sure that you read it, because sometimes AI is not human style writing. So sometimes even you don't understand what the AI writes for you. So you have to read it. And I have this experience whereby students use AI. So you can sense that you know what, we as academician, when we read student proposal, we know whether the student write the proposal by themselves or they just totally use AI tools. Okay, because AI sometimes, if you don't know how to use the AI, you tend to repeat the same thing all over again from one paragraph to another. So to use AI, you need some set of skills. So you nak guna AI pun kena ada skills sebenarnya. So you cannot just simply just use it. You have to know what to ask. You have to very detail. You have to ask the AI detailed information. You even have to provide AI some detailed information. You memang kena provide information too. You cannot just simply ask AI to just write it for you. And sometimes AI ni give you false information. So kalau you tak baca that, you don't have some prior punya understanding about the topic that you want to choose. So probably AI akan give you false information, which is nanti you akan write false punya theory ke apa lah. So you have to be careful. But it's good to have AI. During my time when I did my PhD, it is very difficult for me to write. It took me like months to finish my thesis. Tak boleh tidur malam. When you go and see your supervisor, basically supervisor told you to rewrite it back. 60% whatever that you have write to, you can rewrite balik. So now you have AI tools. Like I said, try to find a way, belajar. I think dekat UiTM ni we have we already provide some seminars, webinars that teach you how to use AI. AI punya whatever AI tools that we have in online tu. So you boleh belajar how to use it. Kalau those in electric engineering ni, I know that one of the lecturer tu selalu bagi talk, which is Dr. Prof. Madia Ahmad Ihsan. So dia selalu bagi talk on how to use AI, how to write. Even kita orang pun dia ajar how to use AI ni to write journals and everything. Tapi there's a way of doing it. Bukan just simply just ask AI to do it. Okay, so these are the do and don'ts. So you have prepare professional looking proposal. So it's not just for the sake of you not do the proposal and you just write and hoping that your supervisor amend it and write it for you. No, because you have to bear in mind that when you go and defend your proposal, you have to know each and every single thing, or else the panel know that you are not well prepared for it lah. Okay, you have to make it interesting, make it informative and meaningful, write easy way to read, present contents in a page, use clear heading or subheading, be concise, precise. Jangan macam you write a novel pula, you tend to use flowery punya. Yes, you have to make it interesting, but you don't have to. Some people they have the writing style yang macam English writing style where flowery, more towards novel punya style of writing. No, we are SNT punya people. So normally SNT punya people, we write things precise and concise. Okay, straightforward, no flowery. Okay, check spelling and grammar. Some panel, they easily annoyed if let's say you have spelling grammatical error. Present it in accurate and acceptable format. You have to be meticulous. Check each and every single thing. Jangan format berterabur. You just don't just ignore whatever spelling punya error or grammar error. Check it. AI tools ada. You can use Quillboard. You can use macam-macam. You rasa macam my advice is that if let's say you write something, you ask your friend to read it. If your friend can understand it, insyaAllah other people can understand it lah. Okay, but kalau macam you give people yang memang have no idea about your area to read it and they cannot understand it, definitely lah yang technical they understand. But if let's say they from there you boleh manage to catch what is the problem, what is the objective, everything. So meaning that you on the safe side lah. You present your proposal in a good manner. Okay. Please do not use a difficult word unimpressive to the reader or supervisor, or you use too complex jargon. Don't, because sometimes this is what I told you earlier, when you use AI, sometimes AI use terlalu fancy words which you pun tak faham, and other people pun you must bear in mind that we are not first language. Kita bukan English, okay? So yes, some people memang lucky enough to be born memang English dia superb, but not everyone. So there are certain fancy words yang kita pun tak faham. Okay, kalau you tak faham, definitely orang lain pun tak tentu boleh faham, okay? Okay, so common mistake to avoid when writing a proposal: submitting lengthy proposal. So my advice is around 20 to 30 pages je. Ada orang submit the proposal up until 50 pages, which is, I think, is too lengthy and too much. In that you dah terlalu cerita, terlalu merapu, tak fokus. Again, like I said, we are SNT, so we should be precise and concise. Okay, covering too much research ground. So be focused. Kalau boleh macam background study tu should have like 5 to 6 paragraph je. So you terus focus and focus and focus. No citing major works in literature review. You should know the key player of in your research area. You should know what are the literature review or papers yang memang very give impact to your area. Too much focus on minor issues, yet very few details on major issues. Inability to frame a persuasive and coherent argument for the proposed study. Poor grammar and careless writing. So during the RP, we have 3 panels. So one is the chairperson, and then there are 2 panels appointed or suggested by your supervisors. So you have to discuss this very carefully with your supervisors. So supervisors, normally panel 1 and panel 2 is the expert in your area lah. So if you sometimes one from, because sometimes you punya area tu focusing on 2 things, so normally supervisor akan get 1 panel for this particular, let's say for electrical, and satu lagi maybe focus on the AI part, if let's say you're doing something like that lah. Okay, research proposal punya assessment. So basically you have 100 marks, but they divide on these 6 elements. So the first one, title, which is consists of 5%. So banyak tu 5% tu title yang very basically 1 sentence je kan. And then another 20% for the problem statement, which divide into 2, problem analysis 10% and justification and rationale 10%. And then for research objective and research question, another 20%. Literature review or conceptual work consists of 20%, which 10% for organization of bodies of language, and another 10% proposed research framework. And then another 20% for research methodology or research design, which consists of methods of data collection analysis, sampling design, procedures and techniques or experiment setup, and the last 15% is significance of the research. So ini will cover some part of chapter 1 and also the expected result. Okay. So the DRP result will be divided into 5 categories. So first category, which is the marks is in between 90 to 100. So this is basically accepted without any amendments, meaning that tak payah buat apa-apa lah. After the DRP, you get the result, that's it. So meaning that you can just proceed whatever research that you have lah. And then category number 2, which is the mark is in between 80 to 89. So this is accepted with minimal amendments. The amendment must be verified by the main supervisor and submitted within 2 weeks from the date of DRP. Ataupun from the date of you get the results lah. Okay. Category 3, which is 70 to 79, accepted with minimal amendments. It's just that the amendment must be verified by DRP panels and within 1 month. Meaning that dekat sini, the work yang you kena amend tu will be more than category number 2 lah. Sebab ini 2 weeks, ni about 50% more than category number 2. Category number 4, 65 to 69, this is major amendments. So basically, students have to resubmit the amended proposal and represent to the DRP panel. You kena re-DRP lah. And it must be within 2 months from the date of DRP. And then category number 5, which is less than 65 marks. This basically the panel reject your proposal and you have to submit and present a new proposal. So ada difference between category 1 until category 5. Kita kalau boleh, we target to have the first 2 category lah. And especially those who are planning to convert from master to PhD, you target to have these 2 category or else nanti you tak boleh nak convert. Okay, so I think that's all from now. That is all from me for now. So if you need any help, you can just contact me, email me, or just contact me directly through WhatsApp. So yeah, we open the floor for Q&A. Sekejap ya. Let me see. Primary objective is not being answered by doing those 3 objectives. Attendance assessment apa ni. If we use a modified algorithm, do we need to explain the basic algorithm in the LR, then describe what modified? Doctor, I have a question. If we use a modified algorithm, do we need to explain the basic algorithm in the LR and then describe what was modified in the methodology, and can we, or we can just explain everything in the methodology? So, if you have a modified algorithm, the basic algorithm punya theory tu you should describe dalam research methodology. Yes. And then from there, you akan ada equation, dan the equation tu you akan cerita dalam methodology you. Because methodology basically you dah nak, methodology you need to, you design the methodology tu based on your objective. So bila yang modified tu, everything you should cerita dalam methodology. But the basic one you still have to cerita dekat literature review. So I'm doctor. Could you re-show the earlier slide how to make your research title? Okay, hold on ya. Research title. Don't worry, this slide will be shared with you later on. So any other question? Ada apa-apa nak?
Kau doktor boleh nak tanya soalan ke?
Yes.
Saya Soleh Amin, nak tanya doktor lah. Okay, so during master dulu saya ada menggunakan alat lah. Jadi dekat masa sekarang tengah pada PhD, so masih menggunakan alat yang sama. So adakah apa ni, just nak minta pandangan lah. Jadi dari segi penceritaan berkenaan alat equipment tu mungkin akan jadi, saya akan cerita juga ketika PhD level ni. Jadi ada tak, boleh ke bagi cadangan atau pandangan apa yang boleh saya bezakan penulisan berkenaan dengan alat tersebut compare dengan master untuk PhD lah. Maksudnya adakah lagi detail ke?
Alat yang sama you guna, but is the measurement punya setup tu sama tak? The material sama
Lain,
tak?
maksud saya dari segi detail berkenaan dengan alat tu maksudnya.
Alat tu tak perlu ni pun, you just describe apa alat tu, why you need to use the alat, how you going to set up the alat lah. Kalau if let's say the things sama dengan waktu PhD, it's okay. You just as macam mana you describe waktu master tu shouldn't be a problem. Yang membezakan you adalah, again, are you going different material? Are you going to use different parameters? Itu patutnya ada beza. Sebab objektif you dah berbeza dah from master and PhD. So the setup, the material, the parameters semua tu should be different. But the equipment tu definitely akan sama. Unless setup untuk equipment tu berbeza.
Okey, faham Doktor. Terima kasih.
Sama.
Assalamualaikum Doktor.
Waalaikumsalam.
Boleh, seperti yang saya tahu, setiap fakulti itu words untuk proposal adalah berbeza kan? Jumlah dia.
Jumlah pages.
Words.
Words.
Ada berbeza kan?
Mhm.
Boleh tak? Boleh tahu yang secara yang kami boleh refer lah. Setiap topik tu, section tu berapa persen?
Saya, kita orang at our faculty, kita tak ikut berapa banyak words.
Sebab yang saya tahu lah kalau ada, sebab saya ada baca yang refer tu kan. Contohnya FSG macam 5,000. Minimum kan maksimum, saya dah lupa. Jadi nak tahu each body tu daripada 5,000 tu, contoh literature review berapa persen daripada 5,000 words, takut nanti lebih.
I think shouldn't be a problem lah tu. It's entirely up to you pun. Tak ada sebab dia kata minimum of 5,000.
Minimum atau maksimum, saya dah terlupa. Rasa macam maksimum.
I don't think you will reach that 5,000 tu pun. Sebab normally SNT we normally have more diagrams kot dalam tu. So you describe pun macam parameter and everything tu semua you boleh put it in table instead of you describe benda tu. So you kena pandai guna diagram. Nak make it interesting kan, kalau you just write je everything. Literature definitely you have to write lah. So literature tu mungkin banyak sikit lah. Tapi literature pun normally kalau macam my student dia buat dalam 5 pages je. Sebab I normally suggest them dalam normally proposal dalam 15 to 25 pages je. Bergantung lah, kalau masters dalam 15 tu pun dah enough. Tapi PhD banyak sikit lah, because PhD macam references, kalau boleh you letak dalam 50 references. Macam tu.
Okay, thank you, Doktor.
Alright. Okay, ada one question. Salam Doctor, may I ask, as it is suggested for us to do preliminary study that support the expected result, at which part in the RP should be elaborate on the preliminary study? In the expected result, or dalam expected result tu, you can just list down what are the expected result, and you can put your preliminary study inside preliminary punya result in there. Or preliminary study is solely for our references. No, preliminary study, bukan preliminary study, preliminary result normally yang I ask you to put. What are the best number of research objective for PhD? 3 to 4. Jangan lebih pada tu. Kalau too many. If we had developed the objective of the study, what should we do next? Should we design the problem statement from the objective? No. You should design your problem statement then objective. Normally problem statement, research question, objective. Then from there methodology. You jangan you jangan design. I tahu ramai student buat lah, dia dah ada objektif dulu, then baru dia design problem statement tu untuk dia dapatkan balik objektif tu. No. You should understand you punya objektif. You kena buat dulu you punya problem statement, then problem statement tu baru you buat objektif, because objektif ni basically you nak solve you punya problem, bukan the other way around. Okay. Any other question? Ada tak? Okay, if you don't have any more question, again, you can contact me personally dekat my email, insyaAllah. I normally check my email every day, or you can just WhatsApp me. If you need help, if you need opinion regarding your proposal, just contact me. Okay?
Doctor, just one last question.
Yes.
Where should we put the expected result?
Expected result should be after your research methodology.
So it should be in one chapter as well. Sama
Yes, one
dengan
chapter.
oh,
Dia sebenarnya kan, dia macam when you write a research proposal ni, it's like you write a thesis. Thesis you have chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. And then chapter 4 is your result. So dalam research proposal, sebab research proposal kita tak ada result punya section. So like I said, you have the first 3 punya result, and then you should have expected result. Expected result ni adalah basically dia reflect balik you punya objektif. Okay, so you akan ada one section khas untuk expected result. And the expected result tu you can put your preliminary result. Okay, if you don't have any more question, I wish you all the best for your DRP and for your study. Try to focus as much as you can. Seek for advice, seek for help if you stuck somewhere. Okay. The most important thing is that kenapa you need to seek help, because you have to jaga your mental illness. Jangan kalau dia breakdown tu memang akan ada, overwhelm tu memang akan ada, you rasa penat, frustrated tu memang akan ada, especially after you jumpa your supervisor. Sometimes, okay, you dah put so much effort, and then tiba-tiba supervisor not agree with you with certain things. So benda tu you have to be more patient. Kalau you rasa you cannot go, then seek for help lah. Okay, jaga betul-betul, jaga diri betul-betul. I wish you all the best, smooth journey. InsyaAllah you will graduate on time. Saya doakan semua graduate on time. Yeah, I think that's it kot. Again, all the best, InsyaAllah. Okay, back to you, Dr. Nazira.
Thank you, Dr. Emmeline. We hope to see you again in the next session.
All right, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum, everyone.
Salam.
Thank you.
And for participants For participant, I already shared the attendance and assessment for module 6 at chat box. Now I will share QR code. Can you guys see the QR code?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
For recording and slide, we will put in the Google Drive later. Today you only can see yesterday's slide. For today, you can check time to time. We take a short break around 5 minutes and then we will start with module 8. So we start with our last module, module number 8. The title is Publication in Scientific Journal by Associate Professor Dr. Khalila binti Abdul Khalil. Dr. Kelly, are you ready?
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you see me?
Boleh.
Okay, can we start now? Boleh ya? Sekejap, eh. Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, this is two-way communication kan? Oh, just one-way communication?
Two-way.
Two-way, alright. Okay, that's good. Okay, I think this is our last session for today. So I've been given to this topics, publication in scientific journal, and this is a scientific and technology cluster. All right, let me. Okay. All right. So this is me. Yeah. Okay. I'm from Faculty of Applied Sciences, right? And my PhD is microbial biotechnology, and my master in applied molecular microbiology, and my degree is Doctor of Medicine from UPM. And my research interest is probiotic and microbial biotechnology, and also media optimization. So I hope maybe one of you, or maybe some of you from Faculty of Applied Sciences as well. And we have several program of postgraduate program in Faculty of Applied Sciences. Okay. All right. Before, without any ado, I think we know that all right, we know that being a good writer, is a very tough work, and as we know that sometimes we keep on asking our mind, can we write, or can we be a good writer, right? If we look at this, actually, based on the research, is 3% in our life, is only 3% is a talent to be a good writer, and then another 97% is not being is restricted by internet, and meaning that being a good writer, you don't have to be really talent to be a good writer. It's actually 97% come from you, and when we talk about this 97% come from us, and it's not distracted by internet, meaning that we cannot say that it's a commitment to our family, to our friends, hang around with our friends, or maybe holidays, because Malaysia is a lot of holidays, we have a lot of holidays, public holidays. It's not a threat, actually. We have to take that one as opportunity, and because being with other people, right, actually it gives motivation to us, right, and inspiration, and it will help us to be develop our skills, yeah, especially in to be a writer. Yeah, so that's that's that is one of the opportunity that we can take, yeah, in writing. All right. And another question that always keep on our mind: why you need to publish? Yeah. Right. Is it because of you have something important to say, or to allow examination of your work, or to get your work in the high impact factor journal, or to meet your KPI, or maybe for the recognition, okay, or maybe because of the self-satisfaction, right? So actually writing is what we call it is a part of how scientists or researcher communicate to each other, okay, how we express our findings, and we share our findings with other people, right? And by doing that, okay, other 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 researcher can use our findings as a starting point, yeah, to improve further. So that's also give a really satisfaction when we are able to publish our journals, our papers, right? And it give at least self-satisfaction in our life. And as a PhD candidate, one of the requirement, yeah, is a publication. Yeah, so treat that one as a self-satisfaction, yeah, throughout your study life, right? Okay, so this is the part of habits of highly effective researcher. Yeah, right. Okay? They like to express their findings. They like to express their uh, result or data with other people, and it will give a benefits actually to other people's. Okay, so writing a thesis or report or actually articles is a learning skills. Yeah, that's why if you notice, I always mention about the terms of we, our. I didn't use you as a candidate because this is part of learning skills that we need to learn. Me myself, yeah, I'm still learning, yeah, and always be, yeah. Um, and it will teach us how to develop our skill day by day. Okay, so the practical tips before you write, in order to get a very good publication, yeah. So there are several steps or several um, flow that maybe we can guide you, yeah, to get a good publication. Yeah, first we need to choose a journal. All right. Okay, we need to choose a journals, right? First, before when we want to choose a journals, right? First thing we need to identify a subject. What is the focus? What we're going to focus in our paper, in our publication, in our journals? Is that significant? How significant it is? It can be answer a problem, yeah, a problem that stated by previous study. And who would be our community? Who going to be the interest group if we publish our findings? Okay, so that's the thing that we need to identify. Yeah, before we set for the publication or for the draft or manuscript. All right, and then we identify journals, yeah, which journal are interested in the subject according to their aims and scopes. That one later on we looked at how to identify the journals, right? And which journal have editor and readers who are likely to be interested in this. Yeah, it must be same field, okay, or maybe same interest, research interest, or maybe aligned with um, we call it the demand, yeah, if not field, but maybe people want to get knowledge from that. Maybe a very new findings that people like to know about. Yeah. So we need to identify a journal, yeah, which is suitable to our findings or our study. Yeah. And another one is check the journal. Download at least four. I put it here at least four articles from last 4 years that could be in literature review, meaning that we get to know what are the articles or that related to our scope of study, okay, which align with our study, or maybe show a limitation that from our study we can fill up that limitation, or we can fill up the gap, or maybe we can answer the question from previous study. So previous articles is very important in order to identify the journals that you want to publish. Yeah. Okay. If this isn't possible, select another journal. Yeah. So it's it's not stick to only one or two journals that you think that is the best for you. Maybe you can need to get more journals. Basically, it advisable also to get at least read 10 journals every day. Yeah? At least you can get the idea how people write, the articles, how people express their point of view, or their judgment, or how they practice their critical thinking in writing. Okay. So if possible, yeah, always find an index journal, right? Yeah, I think most of you really familiar with this, and maybe we being exposed to index journal. Yeah. So what is index journal? Index journal is a list of journals organized by discipline, subject, region, or other factors. Yeah? For example, like WOS, yeah, Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar, okay, PubMed. Okay, this is basically for medical or dentistry or pharmaceutical, yeah, field, yeah. Elsevier, EBSCO, Mathematics Science Net, DOJ, Directory of Open Access Journals. So this is the example of organization that commonly use as a or maybe choose, yeah, as an index journals. Yeah. And nowadays, beside index journal, we always keep on encouraged potential candidates to publish in high impact journal. Okay, and what is high impact factor journal, right? Basically, when we want to publish in high impact journals, right, the research basically must have a huge or big impact to the community. Can give a very an impact findings which can solve certain big problem in the community. And high impact factor journal, okay, I have basically have a higher citation rate. Yeah, means your article has higher chances of getting cited. Okay, that is one of the reason why candidate are encouraged to publish in high impact journals, right? Higher reading rates means your article get read by more researcher, okay, and more recognition in terms of scholarly contribution. Okay, how to categorize high impact journal and low impact journal? Based on one of the articles, right? This they state in the findings that high impact journal can be categorized as 10 impact journal and impacts and above. However, it depends on the field, yeah, because some of the field, to reach 10 impact journals, right, impact factors, right, impact factor is quite difficult, right? Basically, it always the 3, 4 is good enough, but yet other fields like medical journals, right? They can go higher impact factor, right? So it depends on the field actually. Okay, how to categorize as high impact factor journal. But we can by reading, yeah, by reading of the journals, at least we can get an idea how comprehensive of the journals, how uh how depth of the journal, how they discuss the journals until the fundamental aspect. Yeah, so we can, from there we can judge or we can justify uh, the journal is really a high impact journal to our respective field or not. Yeah. Okay. So high impact journals, yes, see high quality manuscript that not only contribute to the knowledge of the reader, but also clearly communicate the result and impact of the research. Like a big issue, right? Like cancer problem, how to prevent cancer. There are so many approach, yeah. So that is given impact research. Or maybe a big data nowadays, yeah, people are looking at big data issue. So it can be also high impact research which can contribute can also publish in high impact journals. Yeah, so again when I mention high impact journal, it depends on the field that we can justify, yeah, the level of the journals. Yeah, it depends on the how fundamental of our study. All right, this is the example. Yeah, high impact journals, for example, like we can go through from Schemago. This is the web link. Yeah, so you can go through the Schemago journal and country rank, and we can type a journal that you interest in, and then you can go to the what is the quartile of the journal. It depends on the field. Okay, because one journal, in the journal they have a lot of fields. Yeah, like this International Journal of Food Microbiology, they cover food science, they cover medicine, yeah, they cover microbiology, and also cover safety, risk, reliability, and quality. So if your paper more to food science, and it categorized as Q1, yeah. If medicine, Q1. If microbiology, the yellow color meant for Q2. So this how we search for the journal when we want to choose what kind of journal that we want to publish our work, our experiment, our result. So this is one of the example. Okay, another one, please do not submit a public, not really do not submit. It is not really advised to submit, yeah, publication in certain types of journals. Yeah, first, non-referred journals. Okay, all right, non-referred journals is journals that it's what you call it is very less peer review or review activity of your articles, only superficial. Okay, maybe some of the conference, I think you already are aware, some of the conference, they would like to have like a special issue, okay, whereby the special issue they have, they just collect all the selected paper and publish under special issue. Sometimes the articles only can categorize as extended abstract. All right, so this one, what we call it is non-referred journals. Yeah, it's not well peer reviewed. It's not well reviewed by the reviewer. Okay. Another one is avoid volume with low prestige editors or authors or publisher. This one we can get the information through the journal's website. Okay, we can see the publisher. Okay, maybe it's not really well-known publisher, or maybe the editors, yeah, they have a lot of mixed editors. It's not really focused. It's not. It's diluted. Yeah, field of editors in the team of editorial board of the journals. So it can be the information can be obtained, yeah, from the website of the particular journals. And another one, the one what we call it is predatory journals. Okay, predatory journals is the journals that they have um, a review team, right? And they have a review process. However, the review is a bit superficial, right? And the cost of the publication fee is very, very high. It's very expensive. Yeah, sometimes about 6,000 and above, 10,000, right? And even though some of the journals under index journals, right? However, we can identify, or we can get the advice, yeah, from maybe from a supervisor to investigate or to look at the website of the journal, whether it is we call it the fee, and also what is the process of the review. Okay, this is the link that I put here. Okay, you can check the list, yeah, of the predatory journals from our library. So they have plenty of journals that been listed out as under predatory journals. Yeah. So before you set for publication, or before you submit, okay, please go through, yeah, the list, and go through the information from the website of the journal, whether it is really suitable, yeah, with to your articles, right? Please do not, what you call it, do not think that just for the sake of publication you just submit any journals, yeah? But you have to bear in your mind, if we just publish just in any journals, okay, maybe non-referred journals or maybe predatory journals, sometimes it will give low impact to our study or our findings, yeah? And it's a waste, because the idea to publish is to communicate to our community. Okay, so if we fail to do that, so the the satisfaction of the cited of your paper is a bit low. Okay? So basically, we always looking at the index journals, but yet index journal also we have to also look at the whether it is predatory journals or not. Yeah. Okay, so this is example, yeah, phony versus legit or legit. Yeah. The information from the website, you can see if it's so many information that when you verify the information, it's not really we call it, it's not really it's what we call it, is clear, not really clear information. Yeah, so please, we do not consider, yeah, the articles. Better we go to legit, because legit publication, some of the publication that good publication, good article, a good journals, yeah, sometimes they don't have not require any payment, yes, free of charge, yeah. So, but yeah, yeah, of course, it's quite difficult to get. Sometimes we need to wait for a long turn, in order to wait for the review process. But yeah, it's worth it, because it's sometimes it gives a good response from our community, okay, which related to our field and interests. Okay. There are services in publications. Now online. One of Emerald Publishing. Okay. Where this Emerald Publishing is a publisher that help or assist you to publish. Okay. They have their all services. Okay. They have journals, list of journal that can suit with your works, and they can advise you to edit of the contents, proofread, and they can provide editing as well. So this is the one that normally people use, Emerald Publishing. And I think Orchid, I think you're familiar with this, is a link of researcher around the world with their research activities and achievement. So it's really advisable for you, as a PhD candidate to register under Orchid, because they have the ID, they log in, okay, you can get the ID from there. You can share your articles with other, okay, and people will recognize you. People will recognize you an expert. Remember just now why I would publish is recognition. So one of it today, Orchid. Another one is Pablon. Pablon also you need an ID, to register. Okay, and this is peer review faster and more efficient and more effective, especially like, for example, like you as a PhD candidate, if you want to get know about maybe you search for the external examiner for your viva, right? So you can go to Pablon and look at the history of the researcher. What are the papers that related or being reviewed by the person, or maybe you as as a reviewer one day, after graduate, maybe you become a reviewer of the journals. So you can register as well in public, and you can see other people can see what kind of activity, peer review, of the peer review activity that being carried out, and also they can what you call it, identify you an expert to the field. So this is one of the example, or maybe the among example of services in publication that people commonly use. But for the Orchid and Pablon is very common platform for the researcher to communicate to each other with other researcher in the same community. Okay, this is what we call Emerald Publishing. As I mentioned, they have process. They will assist you in terms of submission. They will assist you in typesetting, revision, and so on. And you can go through the website, okay, later on, Emerald Publishing, and from there you can get an idea how this organizer or publisher can help you in terms of speed up the publication. Okay, this is an example as well, and there are so many fields that in Emerald publishing system, like tourism and hospitality management, science and technology, health and social care, engineering, information and knowledge management, right? And so many field. Yeah. All right. In this MR publishing also they teach you how, they guide you how to authoring, yeah, editing, reviewing, okay, how to publish a journal article, help you to find a journal, right? So there are so many services that you can go through the website later on. Okay, and this is the one that I mentioned, ORCID ID, yeah. You can get more, articles from here, okay. And related articles, right? You can share your article as well with same community, with same researcher or same scientists that have a same field, yeah, or same or interest in findings. And this is we call it the Pablon, yeah, that you can go through. Okay, yes, you need to register and get the information from the website. Okay, another one is what we call it open access publishing journals. Okay, open access publishing journals is the one that what we call it is really give benefits, yeah, to our articles, because these open access journals can help our articles to be viewed by anyone, anybody. Yeah, of course they have they have regulation. Yeah, no plagiarism, right? Of course. Okay, and then we have to, sometimes they have to go through the researcher to get the papers, but open access is a good advantage in order to make sure that our paper easily to be cited by other people, can be downloaded, okay, can be used by other researcher. Okay? So this example, yeah, of open access journals, yeah, +ONE, Segi Open, Elsevier platform, Springer, and Scopus as well. Okay, I think all of you already familiar with the platform, yeah, as open access publishing journals. Okay, so once we what we call it, we have an idea about the journals that we want to choose or want to use, then we can prepare our manuscript. Yeah, we can ready to write a draft of manuscript. Okay, because based on the uh, journal selection, okay, at least you have an idea how the journals express their findings, how they write, what is the level of the depth of the knowledge from the journals. From there, you can prepare and give an idea to you how to prepare, what level or what is the depth of your findings that need to be discussed in your manuscript. Okay, so we have full articles. Yeah, in preparing manuscript, we need to know which type of articles that we want to write. Yeah, either you want to write in full articles, right? Or letter, rapid communication, and short communications, or maybe a review. Okay, full articles is the one that have a very, what you call it, a quite comprehensive findings and discussion. Okay, and it's normally often substantial and significant completed pieces of research. All right, basically, in these full articles, we have a few datas that can be published, and the data, actually the findings help to fill up the gaps from our previous study. Okay, and how the discussions conducted in this full article basically is a bit comprehensive, okay, and be more critical, yeah, critical thinking in the discussion. All right, letters, rapid communication or short communication is a quick and early communication of significant and origin advances, much shorter than full articles. Yeah, certain letter or rapid communication or short communication, they only require about 2 pages, right? Or maybe maximum 3 pages. Or that one is quite a lot, 3 pages, but yeah, sometimes only 3 pages or certain words. Okay. Actually, in order to write letter or rapid communication, short communication is quite difficult rather than full article because we need to compact our findings into certain pages. Okay, and of course, in letter or rapid communication or short communication is what we call it is early communication. Mean that when we proceed our study, maybe we find out a very good findings at the early stage of our experiment, so we can put in letters or rapid communication or short communications to highlight what are the good findings. It's not a comprehensive findings, but only a early stage of findings. Okay. Another one is a review paper. Okay, is a comprehensive summary of recent development on the specific topics. Highlight an important previously reported points. Often invited, but even if you are not invited, you can still send a permission inquiry letter. Okay, this review paper actually is being practiced by so many candidates, PhD candidates, because this review paper actually is we can produce or you can publish this review paper based on your literature review. Okay, of course, at the early stage of your journey as a PhD candidate, you need to get more literature. You need to read a lot of articles, okay, in order to give an idea how to conduct the experiment. What are things that you need to fill up the gap, okay? What are what can you produce the novelty from your study. So by reading a lot of literature, it can give you an idea. So is really good practice if we can read at least 5 to 10 per day of the review articles. And by doing that, actually you come up with your literature review. You prepare your proposal, you come up with a literature review, and literature review is very comprehensive. Because it's you need to summarize other people's findings, right? Based on you need to have a fishbone. You have the fishbone of your literature review, subtopics, right? And you fill up the discussion, the argument in each topics accordingly, right? And by doing that, actually, you already ready for review paper. From literature review, you can convert it to review paper. Okay, and I think this is the best way to publish at the early stage of your study. At least first semester or second semester, you already have a review paper to be published. Because you already have the materials. During your proposal preparation. Okay, so of course, in order to write, you have to choose an optimal environment. Okay, and I still remember, okay, one of my colleagues, she always like to go to IKEA to get the mood of writing, because by doing that, she get more motivation in writing. But depends. It depends on other people. Maybe they want to have a quiet place. They want to. They like to go to the shopping mall and sit down somewhere. McDonald's, for example, to start. To start. to write, yeah, because actually the first stage of writing is a bit difficult because you need to get, you get to get the idea, you have to get the mood of writing. Once you get the rhythm of writing, it's easy. It's very quite easy for, it's really like it's already been practiced in your in your in your life, yeah. And then call it to get this yeah lah, to get this optimal environment, it depends on us, depends on the peoples that which environment or which scenery or maybe event that people that you like to have, in order to get the motivation in writing. Okay, so of course the structure, yeah, the structure of articles, just like a thesis, right? They have a title, authors, yeah, abstract, keywords, IMRAT, yeah, introduction, methods, result, and discussion, acknowledgement, references, and some of the articles they have a supplementary materials. All right. Okay, first thing when we want to write, we need to get an idea what to write. Okay, we have to structure our writing. Okay, we have to know what kind of things that we want to start with. Okay, of course, we have plenty ways to get our research out into the world. Okay, we have, we have the idea. Okay, and we already have the a broad scope, open as a journal to refer to, yeah, to look at the what are the things that we can fill up. Okay, and of course, yeah, of course, we have data. Okay, we have all the data that we believe that we can publish in a journal that score highly in citation based metrics. Okay, basically, if let's say for example, like in PhD, you have 4 objectives. Okay, so basically like 2 objective or 3 objective, yeah, you have the data from that objective already have a, you can generate or you can develop or you can publish, yeah, because you have a very a good data or good findings that can publish in the high score citation based metrics journals, yeah. And we also have the bear in our mind that in terms of publication, okay, process, there must be a limited time. Okay, we always have a target when to publish. Okay, and when to publish, meaning that we have to know that when to begin, because during the process of publication, you need to consider the review process, the what call it, the rejection you need to correct and then submit again. So those kind of things, yeah, we need to consider, right? And many researchers aren't aware of the assessment process in high impact journals, the one that you need to think of, yeah, in terms of when to write, how to start, when to start. Okay, so that is things that you need to to keep in your mind. Okay, things that you need to prepare yourself before we proceed with it. Write up a manuscript. Okay. So first thing, in order to write is an abstract, right? So abstract is what you call it, is a summarize of your work. Yeah. When people want to read, we want to know about the article, they will go to the abstract. Okay, because the abstract is a short but concise of the story about the whole article, the whole content of articles. Okay, locate paper in relation to larger debates and identify perspective. Yeah, focus on the question, issue, problems to be explored. Anchor the argument by outlining research sample and analysis. Report the major findings relevant to the argument. Argue upon open out the argument and return to its article perspective. So things that in abstract, okay. All right, things in abstract. First thing you need to know. You need to clear, right? What can you put in the abstract? Okay, what things to be expressed in the abstract? Okay, as a reviewer, in some of the journals, from my experience as a reviewer, sometimes the abstracts are very lengthy. Okay, even some people, they put references in the abstract, right? So actually, it's not a really good practice, because abstract is about your work. Okay, what is your objective? What is the problem in your work? Simplify the problem, simplify the objective, simplify the methodology, simplify the result, discussion, and conclusion. Sometimes abstract need only minus plus 300 words. Okay, and some of the articles, they require not more than 250 words. So it's very concise, right? But need to be straightforward. It don't have to be, wordy, lengthy, in order to describe. You don't have to describe other people's work. You need to just straightforward to your work and findings. Okay. Normally abstract, that is the end of the section, right? Meaning that they will complete basically complete all section: introduction, result, discussion, conclusion. Then finally they'll come up with the abstract. So abstract normally comes the last part of your articles, but depends. Some people like to write abstract first and write the contents and go back to article abstracts and look at the things that you need to call it review back in order to suit with your contents. But some people, they write up the content first and then abstract. Okay? It depends on other people's preference. But the good practice is abstract can be the last part of articles writing, just like thesis as well. Okay, so what are the main things when you write an abstract? Okay, first, background, a simple background. Okay, only one or two lines about backgrounds. So normally the background, it can be, it can be general statement, but need also highlight what is the problem that you try to solve. Yeah, so put in the background of the abstract. So when people read the abstract, people get an idea, oh, this is about blah 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 to solve this issue, right? Then go to the objective, identify the gap, and go to the objective. And methods. And methods is what you call it. The main method should be just outline, the main inclusion criteria to define for example, the population, define the study group, describe the main intervention or treatment, state the primary endpoint. So you don't have to explain very detailed of the methodology. Okay, methods is a very very simple way, but yet you can you try to get the link with the objective in the background, how these methods that you highlight in the abstract answer the objective. Okay, right. Result also need to link with the objective and methods, and basically it's only like a very simple statement, but a bit comprehensive, meaning that you put out the statistic analysis. Okay, but yet since it's a straightforward result, you can put in this what call it, in this section, result section in abstract. And ensure that you have given the result for every method you mentioned in the method section. Okay, because whatever you write up in the methods here, you highlight in the result as well, because it's linked to each other. Objective, methods, and result always linked to each other. Okay, conclusion, the one line conclusion summarize your main findings is sufficient, with perhaps a short sentence with the implication for further research if we have enough space. Yeah, because conclusion, it can be also present only one sentence, only just one line. Okay, to answer your objective. Actually, the conclusion is actually to answer the objective. But let's say you have 3 objectives, but the conclusion is only one statement to answer the whole 3 objectives. Okay, so that's why abstract always come later after the article content, right? Okay, so references should not be in the abstracts. Discussion, they should not be discussion in the abstracts, yeah, and figure also should not be in the abstract as well. Okay, basically it's end up until conclusion. Okay, so the title or the keywords or the abstract actually is a key point to start your what call it, the interest among the readers. Okay, when people when people read your abstract, they will they would like to gain more knowledge, more depth of your study. Then they go to the another session, introduction, until to the conclusion. All right. Okay, so in the introduction, is basically is a clearly established the context for the study. The introduction contains 4 main components. Yeah, general background information, specific background information, a description of the gap in our knowledge that the study was designed to fill, and a statement of study objective, and optionally a brief summary of study. So in introduction, always keep in your mind to answer why. That is the best thing to draft an introduction. Always keep in your mind why you want to do this problem. Yeah, why you want to do this. Then you highlight problem. So basically, what we call it, introduction is like a funnel shape. Okay? We work or we express the general background, the whole story, global problem, and then go to our specific background, and then how to solve the specific background, go to the objective, and what to answer, and how to answer. Then you go to the in the objective. There must be a measurable objective. Then you can highlight from the objective. You can go to the methodology. Okay. So this is if you have that kind of funnel concept in your introduction, it's really clear enough among the audience that what things that you want to solve. What are the problems that you want to solve, right? Which the problem come from the global and go to our specific, and then how the objective can try to solve this issue. All right. Okay, so we have the introduction. Okay, we have the objective. Okay, to the objective, try to solve the problems, And the methodology, how to answer the objective. Yeah, how can I tell the methodology? What things that we need to highlight in methodology? Okay, in methodology, we need to describe in sufficient detail to enable an exact replication of the study, meaning that you need to make sure that in methodology, right, the description in methodology can be repeatable by researcher. Okay, it can be repeat by other researcher when they want to verify, or maybe they want to use the methods but with other, or like bacteria, microorganisms with other bacteria, for example. But the methodology is the same thing. Yeah, the same methodology but different, maybe different materials. Yeah, so it's a sufficient detail to enable an exact replication of the study. Right, and the arrangement of the methodology must be a logical order. Okay, step by step. Okay, if you involve in chemistry, maybe natural product, you need to screen of the natural product, for example, and after that you need to go to the identification, for example, and then we go to the analysis. What are things that you need to analyze of the of your material, for example. Okay, so it must be a logical order. A description of statistical tests. What are the tests that you need to we want to use in order to determine the significance of your data. Okay, because you're going to develop your data. Okay, so you need to highlight how to develop data in methodology and how to verify your data, how to show that your data is it significance or not significance with control. So the statistical tests need to highlight in methodology as well. This is the one of the things that lack of, yeah, in certain articles or certain manuscript. They forgot to put it statistical analysis in these articles. Yeah. Okay, past studies related to the topic should be described or a literature reference given. Okay, let's say if we put if use previous methods, yeah, we need to highlight the reference. Okay, of course, maybe for some of us we use previous methods with modification, but yet you need to give the reference as well, even though it's being modified in our study. All right. Subheading use, and must written in past tense because it's already done. Okay? Must be written in past tense for methodology. All right. Okay, so as I mentioned, must be repeatable. It can be repeated by other researchers if they want to repeat. So methodology is just like is like a recipe book, yeah, for other people to follow. Okay, and it must be it must be leads to the similar or similar conclusion. Okay, from the methodology, repeat, it must be go to the similar conclusion by other people. Okay, so that is very important in terms of methodology. Okay, results. Okay, all results should be presented. Okay, all results should be presented in case, right? In case if you want to publish like full article, full journals. Okay, just now, the first one, remember the previous slide? But sometimes we want to, in our study, sometimes we want to have more publication. In order to have more publication, maybe you have more objective. You can arrange which objective can be used to this publication, yeah, and which objective can be used to another publication. At least you have like at least two publication. As for PhD, you need to have two publication, right? One published and another one in the pipeline. Okay, so at least two. So all results should be presented, the one that you want to highlight in your articles. All right. Summarize data given in tables and figure. This is the one that what I call it, when you write a result, okay, in your articles, you, of course, you will present data in tables and figures. The data and figures must be summarized. Okay, you cannot put everything in there. Okay, sometimes one data, okay, one objective, they have a lot of parameters. You can split or you can split the table of figures, and more discussion can be done. Yeah, if more, more tables, more figure, okay, being presented. But one of the most important things is each table and figures used must be referred to in the text, okay, and self-explanatory. Okay, this is another one. What I found that some people, they have forgot to refer to acknowledge in the text. They come up with a nice table, nice figure, but it's not acknowledged in the text. So when readers read the text, okay, it's not linked to the table that given, or maybe the table given is not really explained to the text. Okay, so you must align both, yeah, explanation of the result tables, even though it's in the table and figure, but yet you need to acknowledge in the text, right? And another one is self-explanatory, because you have to bear in your mind that table and figure must stand alone. Okay, must stand alone. Yeah, remember, must stand, meaning that when readers read or look at your table and figures, they seems to understand that this is what you want to highlight. These are findings, right? And when they cross-check with objective, so the table or figures actually answer your objective. If this kind of, this is the kind of arrangement, so the article is very, very, nice flow and easy to understand. It's very clear, yeah? And people will get more interested to know about your findings. Okay, result of statistical test should be reported. Yeah, as I mentioned, statistical, because when we express our statistic, meaning that we can justify the significance of our result. Okay, and how significance of our result, actually it will help us to discuss more about the data interestingly. Okay, either that one is give significance to our study or significant to our control. That is the things that we need to prove. Okay, because it will help in the conclusion at the end. And again, return the result in past tense because it's already done. Okay. Table and figure, again, just mentioned just now, must be self-explanatory. Yeah. And do's and don'ts when you write a result. Use a table or figure in your writing as a method of making your data more concise and presentable. Okay. Use table and figures to enhance or supplement the text. They should be self-explanatory. Again, yeah. Be sure that your tables and figure reflect your data accurately, right? Must be, must be aligned, yeah, with the with data that obtained, right? Don't incorporate a table and figure just because you want to reach the page minimum for an assignment. Don't cram together. And when you cram together, people cannot see exactly clearly the data. What is the data all about? What is the data help to answer your objective? Okay, it's a bit, if you have a very big data, please arrange it properly. Okay, make it clear. Okay, use a table or figure solely for attestic purposes. They may backfire, as it could demonstrate to your reader that you do not have a solid gap on the requirement or expectation of the assignment or discipline. Yeah, just want to give a very nice, you put all the colors to just to aesthetic purpose, but yet actually it's not really give impact, or maybe it's not really answerable to the objective. And another one, repeat data already shown on one table or figure. Sometimes you repeat data from table and then you repeat in figure. So actually both figures and tables are the same things, and you just want to show that the table and there are a lot of data, a lot of tables and figure, but yet actually the data from that table and figure are the same. Yeah, so please don't do that. Yeah. Okay, discussion. Yeah, discussion is the most important section, and discussion is the most critical part. Yeah, because you need to show the data that you obtain, the result that you obtain. Okay, is it answer the objective? And if not, it must be answer the objective, but it must be have an element of critical thinking. You need to discuss the discussion. Okay. Okay. Another point that you need to bear in your mind, that the result that you obtain, right, from your experiment is not compulsory to be a positive result. It can be a negative result as well. Okay, but yet how you discuss your result, how you justify the result, that is the most important thing. Okay, you don't have um, um, please do not think that you unable to get a positive result, that's the end, you cannot discuss. No, you can discuss, but yet you need to have a further adjustment in the result. Maybe you didn't get this result, and how to prove that maybe other things that cause the result obtained, the negative result obtained, then you maybe add some more in your experiment and discuss again. Oh, this is because of due to this. Okay, so you can see the things that are critical, or things that you can highlight. Okay, you can discuss more. Okay, in your discussion by make a justification, right? And also you need to get other previous articles to justify, to support your result. Okay, open with a clear statement on the support or the non-support of the hypothesis. There must be a hypothesis. Okay, is it your hypothesis? Is it accepted or not? But yet you need to justify. If not, then you need to justify. Or maybe previous research article, previous research also align with the study, or maybe if not aligned, due to what reason? So you need to have that kind of way of discuss to make it more interestingly. And again, statistic as well can also help in your discussion. Okay, to be more interestingly. Okay, instead of you just discuss the result, like the data is increased time to time, but yet if you can highlight the significant increase significantly, or maybe it's not significant difference compared to the control, so that is will be more, give more input, or more interesting, more fundamental aspect in your discussion. Okay, a successful discussion section, put your findings in context. It should include the result of your research, a discussion of related research, and comparison between your research and initial hypothesis. Okay, you must have the hypothesis at the beginning, yeah, after your objective. What is your hypothesis? Can be accepted or not accepted based on your findings, right? Okay, another one, one of the important things is acknowledge the limitation. Of course, as I mentioned just now, not all result can be a positive result. Okay, and if you get the negative result, there must be a limitation of that. Okay, so please acknowledge the limitation and try to discuss how to uh, how to get over it, how to improve this limitation, how to overcome this limitation in the future study, for example. Okay, so don't must be frank in your discussion. Yeah, don't just express all positive result. Yeah, there must be you need to give a frank discussion in this section. Okay, so it comes to the conclusion, right? This also one of the important parts, yeah, because conclusion, it will conclude the result, right? And basic conclusion will align with the objective, conclude the objective. Okay, if you see if like for example in your objective to for microorganism isolate probiotic uh, candidates from fermented food. So in your result is successfully isolate. So conclusion, you need to conclude align with the result and also align with the objective. First, write it all up, yeah, in your conclusion. Okay, you need to look through all the result obtained and then you write up. Okay, second one, other than restating the main outcomes of the experiment, talk about the broader implication of your work. What is the implication of your work? What you can do? What can you do with the data? What is the implication? Is it good? Right? How do your result contribute to the greater body of knowledge? Okay, is it it can help to answer the problem statement, or maybe it can contribute the new knowledge, yeah, in your field, yeah. By answering a particular question, does your work raise more questions? If more questions is good, it's a very good sign, yeah, because when you come up with the conclusion, yeah, and it must be space for improvement. Okay, because remember in discussion should be frank. Okay, for of limitation. So in your conclusion, there must be a question mark then. So if more question mark, then it's good, yeah, because it can give a space for improvement for further study, yeah. Do your results suggest any future experiment? Yeah, future to overcome the limitation or maybe to explore more. Yeah, and with a bang, not a whimper. That is one of the things that you need to think of. Yeah, to bear in your mind. An effective conclusion is created by following these steps. First, restate the thesis or the articles. Make the connection between opening and closing statement. Yeah, remember the objective, opening and closing in the conclusion, and provide some insight. What do you think about the result obtained? Okay, what do you need to do further to improve or to explore more? What can the data or the result contribute into your knowledge? Can these findings able to close the gap or answer your problem statement, or can improve the problem that state in the introduction? So those kind of things you need to highlight. You need to highlight or give the input in your conclusion. All right, references must be follow journal style in detail. That's why first thing, things that you need to choose the journals. At least from there you can get an idea how the journal, how the reference according to journal style. Yeah, present. Yeah, all citation in the references section must be present in the text of the paper. Likewise, every text citation must have an entry in the references section. Not worth citing old paper, yeah, more than 10 years. If more reasonable, this is one of reviewer always look at. Okay, if more than 10 years, meaning that your data is obsolete. Okay, it's not up to date. Maybe you just refer to the old references and you just follow. You just you try to get the problem from 10 years, more than 10 years ago. Maybe during that time there are several studies already being carried out. Okay, so that's why it's not really worth of citing all papers. Yeah, cite papers from the journal that you have submitted to. Okay, and cite your own papers is also acceptable. Yeah, so it can give citation to your individual citation. Yeah. And if that citation, high citation, then it will give you a good, H index, improve your H index, and also improve your ORCID ID, ORCID database. Yeah. Okay. This is one of the issue. Yeah. This is not a big issue actually. It's what we call it is things that always discussed. Yeah. Who going to be a first author? Who going to be a corresponding author? How to decide? Okay. First thing before we decide this, we have to make sure that all authors that involved in the article, okay, already made an intellectual contribution to the research. Who will publicly defend the data, the conclusion, and who have approved the final version. Okay, so the order in which the names of the author appear can vary from discipline to discipline. Okay, so meaning that the arrangement of the author, okay, the first author, normally the first author, the main author, normally the first author is the main author, but yet depends, yeah. Must be the first one as a main author, and who is corresponding author. So what is main author? Okay. In order to decide this, you have to understand the definition of main author. What is the definition of corresponding author? Okay, so main author meaning that a person that really work a lot on this experiment. Okay, he or she are responsible to run the experiment. He or she is responsible to write up the manuscript. Okay, he or she the person that work on the data collection, data analyze, and so on. That is can be considered main author. Corresponding author is the person that can look at the whole picture of the articles from the beginning, from the pre-experiment, all right, and post-experiment, meaning that this corresponding author is the person that responsible to give an idea or to guide, okay, experiment, okay, and also give the if the person that is responsible to answer all the question after post publication. Yeah, people like to refer to this corresponding author for any inquiry, for any details, right? So that one can be a corresponding author. So meaning that the arrangement normally student always be a main author and supervisor may always be corresponding author. However, it must be discussed within the team. Okay, who contribute more? What is the percentage of contribution? Okay. that is within the institution. But yet, if you have a collaborator in other university, okay, and you are the only one authors in the from your institution. For example, like you are the only one from your ITM, the rest from other university. So even though your name's in the middle, but still considered as a main author. Okay, but yet normally the main author always come from the student that stayed at the beginning of the list, yeah, because they work hard in order to carry out the experiment and data analysis. All right, but yet the authorship must be discussed within the team, and it must be everyone must be under agreement, yeah, of the responsible in terms of authorship. Okay, so again, yeah, the articles, when you prepare the manuscript, it must be clear, it must be concise, it must be continuity. Okay, clear meaning that all the statement must be really straightforward, as I mentioned just now, convey the exact meaning, right? It must be maybe from the reader's point of view, easy to understand, right? And logic, simple and systematic, all right? It must be clear, right? Continuity, tell a complete story, continuity between succeeding sentences, paragraph, section, and again, it's like, it's like a storybook that we can, you can read next chapter to next. What happened to this chapter? What happened to next chapter? So people keep on eager to know more. Okay, so that way of writing, okay, can help to increase the interest among readers about your findings. Okay, some guides, yeah, in the articles, abstract, some of the abstract 200 to 150 words, sometimes 300, yeah. Introduction 5 to 1000 and so on. So later on I can share these slides and you can go through the guides of the articles that maybe it can assist you in write up a manuscript for the article publication. Okay, again, this is the one that covered introduction, method, result, discussion, references, and should be in the articles, and at the end it will be abstract, which is comprehensive by itself. It must be concise and it must be contain introduction, method, result, and conclusion. Okay, now submit. Everything's ready. Now you need to submit the paper. You already choose the journals. You already write a manuscript, and you to make sure you already send to your supervisor committee to review. Okay, and ready for submitting. Okay, so of course we have a very nice cover letter together with the manuscript to the publisher, to the journals. And of course, in cover letter, you need to highlight what are the experiments involved, what are the findings involved, what are the problems. You summarize the things. It's just like an abstract, but you need to highlight a bit, give a convincing statement in the cover letter, right? And after submit, rejection is a normal thing. Okay, it's a normal thing. If you look at here, okay, a rate of rejection is quite high. First rejection, it's maybe some people are very frustrated, but don't worry, you can review. Okay, you can review, do the correction and submit to other journals. Okay, you may need to play like a ping pong, yeah, with the paper. Send and return, send, return until you can very a good improvement in terms of content of articles, yeah, then it's at the end there will be, inshallah, will publish, yeah. But if a paper is rejected 4 times, right, there is a serious flaw in the paper. You need to go through, go to section by section. What is the problem? Or maybe because one of the reason, not because of the content, but yet it's not a suitable journal that you choose. Okay, remember again, first thing you need to choose the journals, look at the content, how the previous researcher discuss, how deep of the discussion, what is the fundamental of the findings, yeah. So if your study it's not really broad. It's not really a good. Not really good. It's good. All journal, all articles good. All manuscript good, but it's not really apa or what we call it, it's not really the extension of the findings. Yeah, it's not really enough. Maybe that is one of the reason why our articles being rejected. But no worries, you can have a space for improvement again, yeah, to improve your content. Okay, so don't get frustrated. Okay, try again, yeah. When if we get the comments, but actually the comments is good. Sometimes, we want the comments. Okay, at least we know what which part is lacking. Okay, and it's really good to improve our thesis as well. Okay? Because it can give a good, a good sound, a good space for improvement, a good space for us to ensure that our articles, our thesis is a comprehensive one. Okay, so don't scared to look at the comments. Yeah, look line by line and try to improve. Or maybe if you think some of the review also they're a bit sarcastic, okay, and you think that your articles is good enough, it's not necessary to do the things that they ask to do, so you can do the rebutting. That's why I said like a ping pong, you get the comments and get do the rebuttal. Okay, answer what are the question that being asked by the reviewer, and then maybe the reviewer not really satisfied, come back again to you, and then you answer again, right? And then once until it's satisfied, then you will accept your paper. Okay, so this is some useful link, yeah. Prisma statements, Camago, just now I showed you to you to check what the quota of the paper, okay. And also the index journals, index publication. Okay, and last part, ethical consideration. This is quite important as well. Okay, because ethical issue in publishing, a lot of ethical issues in publishing. This is what this is sorry about the published, the one that if you successful publish the article. So things that we need to consider, we need to look at, we need to really look through is the falsification of result, yeah, scientific misconduct. Okay, some people they have a fake data. Okay, in order to publish, they just fabricate the data. So this is an ethical activity. Yeah, that is try to avoid this kind of ethical things in the publication. All right, publication misconduct, plagiarize. Okay, some of the article from some of the publisher, they will check for the plagiarism. Yeah, look at the percentage of plagiarism. So don't you can use our other. You need, of course, when you discussion, you need to discuss other people's findings, but use the sentence based your own understanding. Don't copy exactly from the previous study, previous journals. Yeah. And if the statement is very, very novel, it cannot be changed. It's very like, it's need to use exact. I mean, please quote. Please quote the reference where does the sentence come from, right? Duplicate submission. Yeah, use some people they send this article to several journals for publication. Yeah. Lack of acknowledgement of prior research and researchers, inappropriate identification of all co-authors, and conflict of interest. Normally, conflict of interest, we need to declare, right, at the end of the process of publication before publish, we need to declare the conflict of interest. Okay, so that is also one of things that you need to think of. Yeah. Data fabrication and falsification. Just now, the fabrication of research data is at the heart of our responsibility to society, the reputation of our institution, the trust between the public and the biomedical research committee, and our personal credibility and that our mentors colleague. Yes, ethical issue. Yeah, and serious issue that normally we obtain in several cases. All right. Multiple submission just now I mentioned about the manuscript sent to the several journals. Okay. And we receive the final decision of this first journal, and it's not an ethical practice. Okay, so this is the flow for your reference. The flow until the publication is now mentioned. The peer review, normally some journal they have a peer review practice, but some journal they ask us to list the name of the reviewer. Okay, so once the reviewer review your articles and they agree, there comes to the editorial decision whether it's accept or reject. And accept, they have a pay article processing charge. Some of the article like predatory just now, they have a really high processing charge. Okay, but yet some of the index journal, journal, they also have the processing charge, but not really expensive as a predatory journal. Yeah? And editing on layout, and they will send us to check final draft and finally online publish and hard copy printed. Yeah. So once you get this kind, so you successfully publish journals. Okay. So we can do this. Okay, inshallah. Okay. Hopefully, in the end, the key is to just write. If you don't start, you'll never finish. Okay, this is the references for this module, right? And that's it. Thank you. Okay, that's the end. Open to the Q&A. Any question?
Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
Assalamualaikum.
Doctor, for review paper, is there any maximum limit for article to be used?
Sorry?
For review paper,
Okay.
I think, is there maximum limits for article to be used?
Okay, for review paper, actually there's no limit, yeah, for the review paper, because when you want to come up with the review paper, you have to do the fishbone. Okay, you have to put the subtopics in your review paper. Okay, and when you do that by the fishbone module, right? You require a lot of literature. You need a lot of articles. You need to look, you need to review as many papers as much because you need to get the view of previous study, and you need to discuss it according to the subtopics. So there's no limit, as many as possible. It's good enough.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? No? Okay. If no question, I wish you good luck. Okay. To be frank, PhD is a lonely journey, but yet, all right, but yet it's a very interesting at the end of your journey. Trust me. Okay. Um, you can feel the sweetness of the journey, okay, of your PhD journey at the end. Inshallah. No worries. Okay. Just follow the path, and then inshallah you can go through. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Dr. Kelly. Hope to see you again in the next session.
Inshallah.
And for participant, okay, we already complete our 8 module, and I already put attendance and assessment link at the chat box. Now I will share the QR code. Can you see the QR?
Yes, Doctor.
Recording will be uploaded in the Ipsis YouTube and also in the Google Drive link together with the slide. You may answer the assessment until 5th July 2024. If there is any question regarding RSS, you may email to Dr. Mazwana at pasp@uitm.edu.my. Is there any question regarding RSS?
Hello, Dr. Nazira. Just one question about the RSS.
Yeah.
Tentang dia punya modul semua, how to check whether kita dah jawab semua modul eh?
Nas, yang ni let me answer. Okay, if you, I will analyze all the response, and if students is not complete, or is there any missing module, PASP will contact by email each one of you or each one of affected student. So please, if you receive email from PASP, please pay attention to that email. Okay, is it clear? All right, thank you. So regarding certificate, certificate will be the link for certificate download. You will receive the link via email after 5th of July. Okay, pasp@uitm.edu.my. All right, thank you, Nazira. Okay, so you will receive email after 5th of July, email from pasp@uitm.edu.my. The email will state link for you to download your e-certificate. Okay, so those who receive email earlier stating that your certificate or your module is missing, so you need to complete the missing module, then only we can generate update your certificate and you can generate the certificate after that, right? Okay, I hope everyone clear. So congratulations, you have completed one of the compulsory seminar. To those who is a PhD student, so you have complete one. You need to complete chi-square after this, or if you have completed the chi-square, so finally you have completed those two compulsory seminars. So you can use the certificate for your defense research proposal, and I wish you all good luck in your research journey and hope to see you in the hooding session after you completed or after you graduated. All right, congratulations and good luck everyone. Thank you so much.